on. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and got to spend time with their loved ones. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone that's listened to the War Report every week and giving us such great feedback. Cyrus and I cannot thank you guys enough. This has been such a great year for the A Show network. There's been so much growth, and I think me and Cyrus are only getting better and better every week, and you guys' feedback has helped that greatly. Now I know, look, I get it. We didn't have a show last week. Me and Cyrus decided, let's do a little personal time. We've been grinding for weeks now, months since I've been on. I don't think we've even missed a show yet. But look, we're coming back with friends. We're coming back stronger this episode than last week. So hopefully you forgive us, because I think it's going to be worth it this week. As you know, this Sunday, 8 p.m. on Peacock, NXT is having their annual War Games event, including 2 War Games matches, the women's and the men's. It's going to be, it's going to be crazy. Look, you know how NXT gets down for their big events. They don't miss, man. And speaking of don't miss, it's only right that we let you guys in on our conversation with Mr. Don't Miss himself, the North American champion, Carmelo Hayes. This was such a treat. Me, Cyrus, and Justin, we had a blast with this one. I hope you guys do too. Like I said, man, happy holiday. This is for you guys, man. We're just happy to bring it to you. Before we get into it, though, make sure you follow the A Show at RNC on Twitter. We got a lot of great end of the year content coming out. I know the playlists are coming out real soon. I love the playlist. I listen to 2000 R&B one in the gym all the time. That's my go-to. It's probably not the best for cardio, but whatever. But yeah, man, I don't want to talk you guys' ear off. I know why you guys are here. So let's get into the interview with Carmelo Hayes.
All right, we are back on the War Report. I know you guys are not used to hearing me on this. Of course, this is Justin from the A Show, but I had to take over and I had to join in on this because this is such a special interview that we have for you guys today. And of course, you guys can always experience the NXT 2.0 live in person every Tuesday night in Orlando, Florida. Please visit www.com/NXT live to learn more. But we got a really special guest. We requested him. We've been asking for this guy for months now, and we finally got him. He's the 2021 NXT Breakout Tournament winner, current NXT North American champion, and he's getting ready to head into uncharted territory and War Games, which you can tune into on Sunday, December 5th, streaming live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on Peacock in the U.S. Please welcome Carmelo Hayes. He don't miss to the War Report.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, man, listen, honor to have you on the show. First things first, you're heading into War Games this Sunday with, you're the new blood, the 2.0 generation against the OGs, black and gold NXT brand. How do you feel that NXT 2.0 has differed from NXT 1.0? Because you were kind of in 1.0 a little bit, where it's you kind of experienced it. You faced off against a couple of those guys. But what's the difference now that you're kind of one of the lead members of the new brand?
Yeah, I feel like the difference is the experience level. If you look at all the guys that were in 1.0, everyone was, somebody. Everyone came from somewhere, television experience. They came from some big organization, and it was a melting pot of big names all in one. So the difference is NXT 2.0 is it's fresh. You're looking at guys like Braun Breaker, guys like Tony D'Angelo, who've only been doing this for 7 months, 8 months. So the experience factor, I think, is the biggest difference that I'm realizing moving from 1.0, I guess, to 2.0.
Right.
So what's the dynamic between the OGs and kind of the new crew backstage? Are there any kind of mentors that you have or people that you go talk to if you have any questions or anything like that?
Yeah, those guys are willing to help us, but I think really where we're at right now, it's really divided in a sense. If we want to reach out for help, we can, especially moving forward with War Games and everything that's going on now. There's more of a divide. But the OGs, you could say that the OGs, they want to help us, but they don't want us to take their spot. And I'm realizing that really quick. They see us on the rise, so they might be a little bit intimidated.
It's that
I don't blame
dynamic.
them.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Okay. There was an interview where you kind of just said that HBK, Shawn Michaels, was just like, I don't know what cool is anymore. You guys got to let me know what's cool now. So how is that relationship with Shawn Michaels just, kind of just, letting you have your freedom in that sense of just doing whatever you like, whatever you feel will connect with the crowd?
Man, I'll tell you, I haven't missed yet. And he gave me my freedom. So I'm just kidding. No, but I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, he gives me a little bit, he gives me an inch, I take a mile, but I get a lot out of that mile. And I think that's like really how I built that trust with Shawn. But he's somebody who early on saw something in me. And I said this on the last podcast that I did, and I spoke up and I told him, I was like, hey man, I want to be a top guy. Straight up, just like that. And he was like, yeah, I see that for you. And it just came into fruition. And, but again, you can say that you can get, they give you the ball, but if you're not, making first downs and making touchdowns, then, you're a flop. But they gave me the ball and I'm running it and I'm scoring. So, but my relationship with Shawn is great. He's a great mentor and he's the guy you want to have on your side.
Right. And I mean, speaking of your character and how it's just changed, drastically since you got the 2.0, what about like your culture and your background, the things around you that you grew up with have motivated your character? Because when I see Melo and Trick, I'm like, yo, I know them. You know what I mean? It's like I've seen them around. I went to school with them. I went to college with them. Like, what about like your background kind of molded that?
Yeah, relatable. And that's the cool thing too, is Trick and I had this conversation early on. I said, man, we need to be us. Like, we need to be exactly who we are, because there are people that are watching us. And it's funny you say that. It's cool to hear you say that, because I was like, there are people that are watching us. Like, we represent y'all. You know what I mean? On TV. We represent everyone who's, grew up the way we grew up, listening to hip hop with that type of culture. And just, just kind of a different vibe, because you know how pro wrestling can be a little bit one-sided.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's hard sometimes because like as Black fans, we only see one side of the story, and the reason I love NXT 2.0 so much is and it's such a great watch is that it's like I go here and it's like I can see a Black North American champion that's talking like me. Exactly, that's dressing like me, wearing fly like varsity jackets and stuff like that. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I see that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And
we want to inspire too, we want to inspire, we want kids to look up to us and be like, damn, I want to be like Melo. I want to be like Trick. So that's important to us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so a few weeks ago, there's a great lineage of Black North American champions. How do you feel to be part of that, like, sort of lineage?
That's a great point, man. That is a really good lineage. It's wild. Somebody did post a picture with like all of it. I think there's only been like 14 North American champions, but I don't know. It feels great, but I feel like the last couple of runs have been watered down. And I feel like, and I'm just being honest, and I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm trying to run with this A champion thing. I made a post on Twitter like an hour after I won the championship. I said, I'm going to make this championship the A championship. And that was just me talking smack. That wasn't me trying to, pitch anything or move it forward, and it caught. But I truly do feel that way, man. Like, you look at the lineage, you're right, bro. Like, there's so many good people that have held that championship, and it doesn't get the justice that it should have. So if I can, talk my talk and make people believe that it is more important than, I guess, people might look at it as, then I'm gonna do that. And I think people are starting to feel like it is more important now.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you cut that promo on Twitter and you posted it, we put it in our group chat. Everybody was like, yo, he's next up. And it felt organic. It felt natural. It felt like it wasn't like, a character driven thing with you where it's like, yo, I'm just gonna film it outside because they told me to. You know what I'm saying? What has changed or developed more with your your promos and stuff like that? Because the one you cut last night, I was like, yo, he's here. Like, yo, he's really here. What has changed in the way that you develop your promos?
Yeah, you know what it is, bro, is I believe everything that I'm saying. Like, I don't say it unless I believe it. And it is, I do feel like that does hurt me a little bit, because these older, you know, I don't want to say older guys, but these more experienced guys, I feel like they do take it to the head. But like I said in that first one, man, let me tell you, bro. Shawn Michaels told me, he said, "I'm not here for you to help you be liked. I'm here to help you be successful," and that's coming from Shawn Michaels. I took that to heart. I said, you know what? Bet. If they don't like me, that's their problem. But I'm gonna be successful one way or another. So that's how that's how I carry myself. So I say what I want to say, and I believe what I'm saying, and I think that they believe what I'm saying too. So it gets them a little bit pressed. And at the end of the day, I don't care. That's how I'm gonna do my promos from this point on. Is just say what I feel.
Hey man, talk your talk. That's what we like about you. You keep it real on TV, off TV. It don't matter. Carmelo is Carmelo. You don't miss, like you said. But speaking of that, look, man, War Games is this Sunday. We've seen War Games in the past. What is you and your team? What are you guys gonna do to really raise the bar, and really take it to that next level and get that win?
Yeah, man, none of us have been in a War Games match. That's probably the biggest obstacle we're gonna have to overcome. As far as like what we need to do. But like we've been studying, man. We've been watching like as a team, actually, believe it or not. Like we watched a couple War Games matches and just got a feel of kind of the environment. There's really no telling, man. You guys are gonna have to tune in and find out on Sunday. But I just know that you got four hungry dudes, man, and we all want it. Like we all want it. Like you saw Braun, he put on last night. You know what I mean? That dude is really a genetic freak. And there's no telling what he's going to do on Sunday. And then you got Tony D'Angelo, who, you guys haven't been able to see a lot of. So there's a lot of, potential in somebody like that you guys are going to get to see, I think, on Sunday. And then Grayson Waller, too, like who's ready to show out at all costs. And, with me is I don't miss. So I don't plan on missing on Sunday either.
One thing I love about Carmelo Hayes kind of experience now, and we can't have an interview without talking about him. Trick Williams.
Yeah.
How did you guys like link up? Like this dude is crazy. Like do y'all ever get when he called Pete Dunne's mom a bobblehead? Did you like when you did you like what? How did you guys meet, man?
Trick got signed at the same time I got signed, and he really didn't have any experience. Like he trained, I think he was training for maybe a couple months before he came here. He was actually training with like Rikishi, and he was like in CW for a little bit. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
So he had a little bit of experience, but it came down to like, hey, we need to get Trick on TV. There's something there with Trick, and Melo. He kind of is doing his thing with the breakout tournament. Like let's throw them together. So they put Trick and I together, and we were cool, but like we've gotten a lot. Now we're boys. Like now we're tight for real.
Yeah.
But I think that they put us together, and it was like, all right, now go make it work. And we made it work. I was going to fail, and Trick knew for damn sure. Trick's like, get on. So we both got on, and it took us here.
One thing that really stands out to me, I think Trick's kind of his banner performance was the Halloween Havoc haunted house segment.
Yes.
Where he literally stole the show. How was it creating that with him? And he seems like a really creative guy. Like what is it like working with Trick in that capacity?
He's a natural. Like he's a natural at like he was born to do this. Or not even just this, like he was born to entertain. Like he puts the E in WWE like 100%, and that's why it's like he helps this. I guess I don't want to say act because it's not an act, but he helps like he's a perfect fit for somebody like me because I'm straight to the point, and I get in there and I go. I'm not really with the hee ha ha, but I will. But
yeah.
I'm pretty down to the point. But Trick, he brings like an entertainment element to Carmelo Hayes, to NXT 2.0. But working with him is great, bro. I mean, we bounce off each other so easily. Like when we need to come up with something, it's hey, I'm gonna say this, you say that. Okay, yeah, and it's just like that. Man, he's one of a kind, bro. He's a superstar.
Awesome.
Okay, so I have a quick question. Now that everybody's Spotify Wrapped is out, everybody's posting their photos. What music are you listening to currently when you're in the gym or getting hyped or prepared for anything?
Yeah, so like it's a variety of like, man, I'm listening to like Lil Baby, I'm listening to Polo G, listening to NLE Choppa. I'm listening to I listen to Pac, I listen to Biggie, I listen to Snoop, man. I'm all over the place, but like definitely like my gym playlist is like what's hot right now, like even like Moneybagg Yo. But like I'm an old soul too, man. So it's like I listen to a lot of the older stuff too. I even love like R&B, old school R&B. Even like today, like Brent Faiyaz is really good. There's so many good guys out right now. But yeah, it's all over the place. I listen to on Apple Music. You go on Rap Life. You know what I'm talking about? That playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It goes hard, bro. I get in the gym, I put that on, and I'm a different person.
Who
But yeah.
if you had to have somebody walk you out, let's say it's WrestleMania. Let's go big. Who would you want to walk you out? What artist would you want to walk you out and perform a song?
Damn, what a good question, bro. I would say, because I'm thinking of the vibe, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, who would my vibe? That would be good.
Hey, Lil Baby.
And I don't.
I think Lil Baby would be tight.
You think so? See, I didn't want to pick like a rapper. I was thinking more like somebody with like some credibility. Not saying that Lil Baby don't got credibility. I mean somebody with like some like real been around the block type of like an OG.
Lil Baby he got street credibility. So
he got street credibility. You know what I mean? Though, like somebody with name. I wouldn't say Snoop, but like OG level type of thing.
Yeah,
that's good, man. That's a good question, man. I might throw it on Twitter. I might say like, who do y'all think? Get people talking.
For sure.
All right, look. So Carmelo, look. I know you aren't the only famous Melo in sports. There's a couple other Melos out there. Now,
yeah,
I'm gonna ask you a real hypothetical question. 3-point shootout. Who you got? LaMelo Ball or Carmelo Anthony?
Listen, I'm going with OG Melo. You know,
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, like nothing against LaMelo, but like I'm going with OG Melo all the way, bro. I got to, man.
I'm with you on that one.
But when do you think? I mean, obviously we all watch NBA. When do you think the Suns are going to lose, man? When?
I don't listen. Here's the thing, bro, about the Suns. I really don't care too much about this. Listen, I'm a Celtics fan, bro. I'm from Boston, so it's tough.
Wow. Want to represent?
Like it's not something I can't really support. But listen, bro, I'm more into football, bro. I'm more into like Patriots and stuff like that. So Boston. So where y'all from?
I'm from Virginia, but I live in LA.
Miami.
I'm from Connecticut.
Oh, you guys are all over the place.
Yeah.
Who could my man in Connecticut? We probably same energy.
Patriots not so much. I'm a Dolphins guy.
A Dolphins guy.
I'm from Miami, and I don't understand.
No, I'm from Connecticut. He's from Miami, but look, like Ricky. When I started watching football, Ricky Williams was the guy. So I was, he caught me. I caught on to that. I became a Miami fan. Unfortunately, I'm loyal to a fault. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm a Tom Brady fan, but I'm not a Bucs fan.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
All right, and we talked about Trick earlier. You and Trick both did a dark match on SmackDown. We were super excited for you. We saw the pictures. It was great. Like, how did it feel to kind of be working on that on the WWE main stage? Like, did you have any nerves going in, or was it just kind of like, let me just execute the plan?
A little bit of both. Like, it was weird because like right before leading up to it, when we were in gorilla position, it was like we didn't feel anything. It was like, oh man, this is like out of body, because it was like one thing about that match, it made me appreciate NXT a little bit more in the sense of like it was more, I felt at home at NXT. I felt like really it was just a weird feeling, man. Everything moved so different up there, but it was an amazing experience, like being in front of that many people. I think Trick started the match, and I'm glad he did because I was on the outside, and I'm just like, my heart is beating. It's like, holy crap, this is crazy. As soon as I got tagged in, it was like go time. But like watching it from afar, I was like, man, this is kind of freaking crazy. But Yeah, great experience, man. Very, very. I'll be back up there sooner than later.
Yeah, you got to see everybody pretty much on that roster. What is like what would be your dream like main roster? I know this is like everyone asks this, but we got to know, because it's you. Who would you want to face on the main roster?
Roman. I feel like that's the only answer. I feel like go big or go home. It's Roman, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he kind of like a mythical kind of like figure? I would think all over the company, really, where it's just like everyone's looking at Roman like that's the gold standard. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true, bro. He's that guy for real. Like I met him when I did SmackDown. He's that guy. Like he is that guy. So yeah, he's the guy that you should want to wrestle because he's the big money guy. You think about it, big match, big moments. Like he's that guy.
Go ahead. I was
gonna say, I'm gonna ask you, like, when you were backstage, was there anybody you saw that you were just like, wow, I can't believe I finally met this guy or girl? Was there somebody like I don't want to say like starstruck, but like somebody who's like, wow, I can't believe like I'm really beating this person?
No, I mean, everybody showed love, believe it or not. Like a lot of those guys, they watch, they knew who we were. Everybody was very cool. Like the Usos were really cool. Paul Heyman was very cool to me. Cesaro and all those guys are like really, really cool. They, you know what I mean? It's not like, cause like they know we're coming up. So it's like, they're like, all right, like we got to keep an eye on these guys. Cause these are, I don't want to say competition, but we're going to be working with these guys in the near future. So everybody was really cool. Like I've known Sasha, I met Charlotte. She was cool. So yeah, no, I didn't really it wasn't like a starstruck thing because I'm a pro, but at the end of the day,
for sure.
All right. Well, I know that you're busy. You gotta train, gotta do everything. You guys have a big match coming up. As always, thank you, Carmelo Hayes, for joining the show. This has been a long time coming. I'm so glad we got to talk to you today, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. If you were trying to hit me up at any point, my bad, because everything goes through,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I'm glad we got you here, and I'm pretty sure this won't be the last time you're on the show. Thank you so much, Carmelo, for the show.
Definitely get me back. Get Trick on too, man. We'll get Trick on him.
For sure.
Oh man, to do an interview, that'd be crazy.
We got to. As always, you guys, NXT War Games, Sunday, December 5th, streaming live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on Peacock in the U.S. This is the War Report, and we'll be right back with more NXT talk.
Man, what an interview. That was so much fun doing that with Carmelo and the guys. Man, like I said earlier, I had some friends coming in, and this is no different. Cyrus is on assignment. So I brought a longtime friend of mine, longtime internet friend. You know how you got like friends that you've had on the internet just for a long time. Y'all just been growing up together. Me and this guy have been, in contact with each other since the old wrestling forum days, back when I was in high school and in early college. Chris Mack is here, man. Chris, what's up, man? Long time coming.
I mean, it felt like you'll be close to the sandbox. So how long we know each other? It's been over like 15 years.
You watched my kid grow.
Yeah,
all that,
really,
man.
dog. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, full disclosure, man. I'm happy to be here. Happy to come in once again. Hanging out with the guys at the A Show and RNC, and get to share my vast wealth of knowledge in the world of sport.
Happy to have you. As soon as Cyrus said he wasn't coming in, I said, "Oh, I already know who I'm about to get because it's been overdue." How you been, man? How was your holiday? How was Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was pretty good. Me and the lady, we just had some dinner, at her place. Some ham and mac and cheese. It was nice. I didn't enjoy watching the Cowboys lose, but I managed to end up watching a whole lot of soccer too. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty decent Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, I went to my brother's house. So he made some oxtail, bro. I ain't had oxtail in
oh man, I saw that tweet. I was like, damn, man, I want some oxtail too.
I had oxtail, so I don't even know what the price on oxtail is right now, but it's probably not something I can afford. But whatever. But yeah, I went to my brother's house. My mom was over there. I brought my daughter with me. She ate with her mom, then she came with me. Cause how black people do, we eat late.
Yeah.
So his kids were there. So it was a real fun time. We me and my cousin Booby, we got into a little debate about AEW and WWE. He's a big AEW guy.
Man.
So shout out to Booby. I'm gonna send this to him later on. But man, let's get in the trenches, man. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, man. Yeah. On short notice too. Like it happened, it happened within like the last, 24, 48 hours. So pretty much easy something to chop our teeth in, man.
So we got more NXT contract talk. Everybody's favorite. From Fightful. We're mostly talking about Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly, two guys who've been brought up a few times now. We know their contracts are up real soon. It was noted that I believe Kyle's, or it was either Kyle or Gargano. One of them had signed I believe it was Gargano signed an extension.
Gargano signed an extension
past War Games to finish the match. What was that? I heard something in the background. But so Gargano signed an extension. I believe according to Fightful, they've been in contract talks since October. Like I've been saying for weeks now, I don't think Gargano's going anywhere. It's not like I can see, with Kevin Steen or Kyle O'Reilly. He was on the road with those guys, the Bucks and all of them. He was on the road with them. They're friends. I don't really know if Gargano really rocks with like the elite like that. Like, I don't really remember them being on the same shows together on the indies. Do you?
Nah, man. Johnny was mainly like, he was Evolve guy. I mean, other than his days in PWG, he normally did work with Adam Cole, during like the early Dragon Gate USA days and Evolve days. But the only time they really had interact with anybody in the elite was during the PWG years. And even then, I haven't seen them work together that much, especially with the Bucks. But he was really just his own dude, being the guy of Evolve.
That's why I was so confused seeing everybody talking about Gargano's like for sure going to AEW. I'm like, where is this coming from? I don't remember them having any prior history. Now Kyle's a little bit different. Now, according to Fightful, it still seems they're still kind of unknown what Kyle is going to do. In my opinion, I think he's out of here. As soon as I saw Von Wagner on SmackDown 2 weeks ago, I said,
I was like, I thought they scrapped the whole thing altogether the moment I saw him on SmackDown. I was like, dang, it's over like that. they moved him up immediately. It had him as like Adam Pearce, new security or whatever. Because that was just a weird segment.
Yeah, because he didn't really talk. They barely like acknowledged him, and then he wasn't there last week. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it's like a test of like how he looks on TV next to Adam. I don't know. It didn't make much sense to me. I hope that
was very strange.
Explain it. But yeah, Kyle leaves. I understand. I'm like, you know what? I get it. The rest of his friends are over there. I feel like with Kyle, they really gave it a shot with the main event. The main event situation, they put him with Cross, and I just feel like I don't know if maybe it's just the fact that he was working with Cross and that kind of hurt him, but I just feel like his solo run really didn't hit like that. I don't think the Cool Kyle thing really hit like that. It just, I don't know, man. I'm afraid to say it because I love Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. I kind of think he might be a tag team guy.
Yeah, plus that Cool Kyle shit, man, it was not working. Like for like main TV, like that was cool to see, during the indies, especially in Reseda. Like they always go in for crazy, stupid shit like that. But him trying to go and do the weird denim and having like what he was wearing like Wu-Tang at one point. He had like a Wu-Tang shirt or some shit.
He was definitely wearing like Hot Topic t-shirts
over denim,
over the flannel,
weird flannel, ripped jeans, and the weird
jean
little
jacket with the
mohawk.
sleeves cut.
It was bad, man. But other than that, yeah, he's a fantastic wrestler, though. And I really was pulling for him, to be like, a main event worthy, worker. During his time, his series of matches with Finn Balor, and his work with Adam Cole, but it just wasn't hidden by the time he was getting there with Cross, to the point that they did have to bring in all the other guys, for like that fatal 5-way. And, and after that, Kyle was just sit to the wolves. He was sit back in by the time NXT 2.0 came to be. And if he did decided to go and work with Vaughn, for the duration of his tenure there, that would be that's pretty cool. But it's funny because in the Fightful report, it said he didn't even know that his contract was close to expiring.
Yeah. I don't know who's working in the WWE offices.
Oh yeah,
there's some kind of communication going on between people's contracts and when they're over, because this is happening way too often. We're hearing too many stories about people not knowing when their contract is up, or WWE not knowing when the wrestlers' contracts are up. I mean, I know they got a lot of guys, but I feel like they should be more organized in this when it comes to these contracts. But yeah, that's where we're at with it. Speaking of contracts, Big Swole from AEW and AEW have seemed to be they've parted ways. It's unfortunate because Big Swole was always just there on and off because of her condition. She has Crohn's disease. I didn't really know what Crohn's disease was. You didn't know that?
I didn't know she had that.
No, yeah, that's why she's on and off TV. I didn't really know what Crohn's disease was until I checked it earlier today. And if you don't know, it has something to do more with the digestive area. And I mean, it can be from like severe to, you barely even notice it and you can live day to day with it. But like, I guess it's basically like you just have like, it can be like, I don't want to like minimize it, but like really like bad cramps or things like that. Like it just something, it's to a condition where I wouldn't want to wrestle while having it. I can tell you that much. The last thing I want to do is wrestle somebody.
I mean, I'll say this: to the fact that she even have that and was able to still compete and train, on a daily basis. I mean, credit to her.
Yeah, nothing but respect.
Go through that, man. But apparently, I guess it was just too much to bear, and she couldn't continue on. And decided to part ways. I really hope it still turns out well for her in the end, with her family, and whatever endeavor she can pursue outwards, post wrestling, or hopefully she'd be able to come back into the ring. But
I don't believe she said she's done wrestling. I think she just said she's just done with AEW. It was just weird because it seems like they never.
It is kind of murky though how that is. I mean, it could be partially because of her ailment, but she always has been fairly outspoken at times too, which is is interesting how this all been brought up.
Oh no, she was riding for AEW heavy. You know what? I respect it. I respect riding for your team, but it just seemed kind of like they never really used her. I don't know if it was because of sickness or they were afraid to like, we don't want to put you in a program and then you can't work, which would suck. I don't know. It seemed like they left on amicable terms, so I'm gonna take their word for it. Best of luck to Big Swole, man. Let's keep it going with AEW talk. I know I said I didn't want to talk about this anymore, but Tony Khan, he's tweeting, man. Chris, you want to get into it, man?
Man, this dude, man, this guy is I don't know what's up with him. He's something else. He's a different breed, bro, and not the best kind either.
Oh, let me go find the tweet real quick.
Yeah, because So for those that didn't know, Tony Khan decided to interject himself into a conversation between a couple of wrestling fans on Twitter, which is kind of unbecoming of a promotion CEO or a billionaire CEO, for example, to communicate with the good minnows of society about Adam Cole's booking and his placement on the AEW roster, which actually he's in a pretty good spot right now.
You know what?
Especially he just came in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Before, I know people keep making this big deal out of Adam Cole, like, oh, he's not in the main event. I'm like, yo, he just got there. Like, let's give it some time. I'm not even on that. My whole thing is, yo, why are you tweeting people, bro? You are a billionaire.
Yeah, man. I'm like, what the? Not just tweeting people, tweeting them in Wrestling Forum 2010 slang, like over AF. Like, why are you saying over AF?
Adam Cole's so over out there. Yeah, bro, you booked him. What?
The ratings are dope, bro. And like, I'm like, what? And he's tweeting about ratings again.
Yeah, I don't like that
for his Thanksgiving ratings. I'm like, bro, man, he's not even like talking about the Rampage numbers, which weren't all that great for Black Friday.
He can't
he could have said it was the first time ever. The first views that they had because it was their first Black Friday Rampage, but.
Man, look,
this guy is something else, man. He's corny as hell. Like, he really is, bro.
He's a dork, man. I like AEW. I know it's common misconception that we don't like AEW on this podcast. Well, I can't speak for Cyrus. I can speak for me.
Yeah, that he hates them, man. He hates them. For me, I'm just kind of annoyed with the product right now. And even though I do like some of the guys that are there on the roster, I will stop to watch, Bryan Danielson or CM Punk or, Lee Moriarty, as, they all appeared on tonight's episode or from the episode. And, but the show is so inconsistent, man, especially like 1 week it will flow well, have nice progression. And then the next week, everything is just running into each other and none of it's making sense. So, I mean, I just can't really enjoy it all together. But hey, man, if folks like it, I mean, that's, go in bed. I'm not knocking anyone for liking it.
Someone tweeted a couple of weeks ago. I meant to bring it up on the podcast. Someone tweeted that you could tell Tony Khan used to play Extreme Warfare Revenge on the computer.
Oh,
a lot back in the day with the way how he books his show. And I was like, you know what? Dude, man. That does sound like his shows are kind of run like an EWR simulated show. If y'all don't know what Extreme Warfare Revenge is, it was like an old simulator, like Windows-based simulator wrestling booking game. I mean, it's still around.
It had the forums on lock, man. It still is around. I have a copy right now. I still have it in my drive.
I used to play that in high school so much.
I still have it, so I'll play from time to time. Yeah, from time to time, I'll just see if there's a fresh pack, and I will go and update it and see what the rosters are looking like. But yeah, it was the forum thing, and he has every match that ends in a run-in. So yeah, he definitely is an EVID guy.
Exactly. Enough of all this talk. Let's get to AEW, man.
Oh yeah.
Listen, last week you said you were disappointed in me, and that's interesting because honestly, I'm proud of you, man. I really am. I am. It takes a lot of balls to come out here and claim to be the best in the world when you're struggling to beat the likes of QT Marshall and Lee Moriarty. I guess the only thing you're the best in the world at nowadays is trying to get in Britt Baker's pants. What's the matter, PG Punk? You look unamused. Coincidentally, that's exactly what Britt would look like if you got her in the bedroom. Buddy, you ain't CM Punk. You're one pump chump.
All right. AEW. First things first, I'm going to keep it stacked with y'all. I wasn't feeling this episode. this one wasn't it.
Very, very disappointing show, especially being at in Atlanta. Like
compared to the last Atlanta show. The last Atlanta show was fantastic. The one with the cage match, that episode was a banger. First and foremost, well wishes to Jim Ross, get well soon. I know he's taking some time off from the show to deal with the cancer. So best of luck, get well soon, man. So we had a lot of a rotating third mic on commentary for most of the night, and it started off with Hangman Page because first match of the night Bryan Danielson versus the War Report's favorite AEW roster member, Alan Angels. This is Alan Angels' hometown. And Alan Angels pretty much got his ass whooped. That's pretty much what happened in this match. I don't really have much else to say on it.
As he should, it's funny. I noticed that these the last 3 matches of Danielson against Dark Order members here lasted about 5 or 6 minutes. And he beat him down. So yeah, he just dominated the entire match. For most part, Alan Angels had a couple of good hot spots in, but in the end, we knew what was going to happen. Danielson slapped him up, stomped his face in, and then got him in the heel hook knee bar, which he didn't let go of for the submission. And he threatened or tried to provoke at Hangman Page to hit him, because the two aren't allowed to touch each other until Winter is coming in 2 weeks, where Hangman and Danielson are finally having their title match.
Can't wait for that. It's gonna be a banger.
And but John Silver, I'm really excited for this. Silver versus Danielson next week in New York. But John Silver came out and tried to run in to attack Danielson, but Danielson ran off. Fine opening segment. But man, they really are going headstrong with open the show up with Bryan most of the time.
It's either Bryan or Punk, and it's so crazy. Bryan Danielson is just light years above everybody else on that roster.
Yeah.
Character wise, he is so much he's only, how long has he been here? What, 2 months?
Yeah, it felt like 2 months.
I feel like he's already the number one character
everyone.
Yeah. And he's having the best matches, and then he has the best character work. He look how seamless, anybody else who turned heel immediately like that, it would have came off really whoa, where did this come from? But with Bryan, it was just it was natural and it's believable. He's getting cocky out here. He wants that championship. And it just you can tell this man has been wrestling on TV for over a decade and he gets it.
Yeah.
And it's I don't have an equivalent. It's maybe if LeBron James went to go play in the G League for a couple months, you can just tell the difference in quality of athlete. Right. It's amazing how good this guy is. And yeah, man, I think him and Hangman are having a great feud so far. I like personally, I like the whole I'm gonna run through the whole Dark Order angle. I think it's cool. Fun. So this is gonna be a great first feud for Hangman Page, and I'm really happy we're getting this match at Winter is Coming. That is one bright spot I'm looking forward to within the next couple of weeks for AEW.
You think Hangman's going to give Bryan his first loss? Oh, wait, yeah, it'll be his first loss, right?
Yeah, because he has one draw. Yeah, I think he's gonna lose, and that's fine. You can take that out.
Yeah, which is good. That because that's the type of victory that Page needs to solidify his reign.
Definitely,
that would all for that.
For sure. Next up, what else big happened? Let's see. CM Punk, excuse me, versus Lee Moriarty.
Yeah.
Now, this match, pretty good. Shout out to Lee Moriarty for the MF Doom mask. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, good. So the match was cool. However, Punk looked kind of tired. I know. I guess he had Excalibur kind of noted he had some kind of respiratory infection, non-COVID.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's probably why. But man, you could tell he was definitely a step slower tonight. And it didn't help that MJF kept pointing it out that he was moving a step slower on commentary.
Yeah, it did help that he was on commentary in general, because he pretty much kind of helped drag the match down a little bit with his commentary, but it was still good work altogether. Solid, fine TV match. Moriarty looked great, man, and I like the finish, where he tried to counter him. What looked like it was going for a reverse gourd buster, and then hit him with the GTS for the win.
Yeah,
that was the best part of the segment. Just that match. Everything after just went downhill.
It went downhill real quick because then MJF got on the mic, and let me tell you, first of all, during commentary, he kept calling CM Punk PG Punk. I don't know if that's supposed to be some kind of insult. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Because he was on WWE when it was PG.
He also made a cooking meth reference too for his CM name.
Actually laughed at that.
I laughed at that too.
I did laugh.
That was funny. That was a good one. That was the only laugh he got out of me, man.
But the rest of it, MJF. He would not in his bag this week. This was not a good promo for MJF. At some point, he decided that he wanted to involve Britt Baker into this promo. I don't know why, because she had nothing to do with anything outside of the fact that like he meant that Punk mentioned her like briefly in the promo last week, which by the way was a good promo. Not the best promo within the last 20 years, but it was a good promo. But
crazy, man.
I don't know what that's about, but like it's just like, what are we doing here? MJF frustrates me so much because I see the potential in him. I see it. I know it's there. He can work. He can talk. The problem is he keeps trying to go for the low-hanging fruit and go for like shocks. He's like, this is like Goblin era Tyler the Creator. Like, you see the potential, it's like, okay, I see what's going on here. He has the vision. You can tell he's a student of the game, but like, you don't need to do this shock shit. Yeah, he just keeps doing it, and it's hurting the quality of his promos. I know. I mean, I guess some people like it, but it's really not for me. And I wish he would just stop. Like, yo, just be like, just tell the story without having to try to go for like, oh, your uncle's dead, or you know what I mean? Like, why? For what? What is that? What do you gain from that?
You try to be more creative. You know, I mean, bring some like literary references into it, man. Like, pull some reality, like not in the sense of insulting and going for the low hanging fruit in these promos, but pull something that people can actually gravitate towards. That they can feel, like what LA Knight did. Oh, I digress though, but LA Knight showed how to cut a promo in under a minute, let alone 45 seconds. So I know that MJF can pretty much do the same thing, but but just the cheap shots, the cheap heat, slander, the insults, like it does not work for me. I don't feel the vibe at all.
Yeah, this one wasn't good. Usually, sometimes I can look past it, but this week, no. Insinuating that CM Punk wants to have sex with Britt Baker is nonsense. It didn't have nothing. It was so forced. You know what it reminded me of? Speaking of Britt Baker, it reminded me when Britt Baker made that comment about blood money for no reason. It had nothing to do with anything. You remember that, the Saudi Arabia thing? It had. She just cut like a promo. I think it was like Chris Statlander or something like that, and she was like, she's all of a sudden she's like brought up like blood money from Saudi Arabia, and I'm like, what did that have to do with anything? It was so random. But
and speaking of like. Harking back to the consistency issues, man, like Britt Baker is in the very next segment. Right after that.
And then Adam Cole's like right after that too.
I'm like, okay, so you see MJF pretty much insulting the women's champion of the company. Also, the girlfriend of a member on the roster. And yet it's all good. They're just going to go about their business. It's like what Cyrus says, they're all in their own universe. They're really in their own universe. Like nothing else out on the show matters to them, which, that's what throws me off with watching Dynamite week in and week out.
Whatever. This wasn't MJF night. That's all I got to say. Better luck next week. Next up, Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander, TBS tournament quarterfinal. Did you enjoy this match?
Not really, but it was fine. Like, it was decent for what it was. Ruby got the victory.
I thought they were moving kind of slow.
I mean,
slower than usual.
Ruby and Stat normally does move slow from time to time, so I'm not surprised with that at all. And Ruby does have her own injury issues in the past. It was decent for what it was. I mean, Ruby got the win. She's going to be facing Nyla Rose in the semifinals now for the TBS title.
Correct.
So so it's all good. The final four now. So you have Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill, and now Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose. I mean, it's a good semifinals list, if anything.
I think those are gonna be two good matches.
I'm interested in seeing what happens here because
who is your pick right now? Put you on the spot. Who's your pick? Who's
all TBS right, man? Champion? TBS champion. I'm still going with Jade. I actually had the final being Jade and Nyla, but I don't know now. But Jade's still my winner. But I don't know what the final's going to be.
Jade and Nyla be fired. If Jade can pick Nyla up, I'm sure she
That's
can.
What
that spot will go crazy. It's like when the eventual Bianca Belair KOD on Doudrop, the crowd's gonna go crazy when it happens. So I mean, I'm cool. That'd be a fun final. I'm not even mad at that. Personally, I want Thunder Rosa to win it. Thunder Rosa is long overdue for some kind of championship. She's, I say, second most over woman on the roster. Maybe third. Maybe Ruby might be a little more over, but she definitely is definitely Britt Baker's number one, and then possibly Thunder Rosa or Ruby is number two. And I think Thunder's been consistently good since she's been signed, and she hasn't really gotten an opportunity, even though she did beat Britt Baker in that lights out match. People keep don't bring that up.
They keep alluded to it as well. Whenever they interact with each other, which begs me to think that if Thunder Rosa does look to be the TBS champion for a minute, that's going to pull her away from the AEW's title picture, which
is fine.
Looks kind of barren, but it looks kind of barren to me.
If they don't want that match to happen, they want to save Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker for another time, or because I don't know.
They could also go for title, but I mean, how
I don't think they want to do that soon. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why they haven't done it. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's just so...
You got me perplexed, man. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know.
I mean, it's reflective because she's clear as day, like the best challenger for Britt, and honestly, they should get that title off for Britt because I just don't see any challengers for her outside of Thunder Rosa, unless what I'm seeing now is they're doing some decision between her and Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, it's been kind of brewing a little bit.
Yeah,
but I mean, they got Jamie Hayter gonna have to go rack up some wins on Dark because I don't think she's had too many matches. Yeah, I don't think she's had too many matches. Yeah, but also, we do know that on Rampage, Riho defeated Britt Baker to get a match for the championship. So I think that's coming up. I don't know. I would probably winner is coming. I'd imagine that should be a fun match. I don't see Riho winning.
Yeah, but
it should be a fun match. Next up, let's talk about it, man. Street fight. Atlanta street fight.
Yeah,
Cody
Atlanta
Rhodes
street fight
versus Andrade El Idolo. Now, before we get into it, the finish or whatever, I will say, you know how I feel about Cody. This match was actually kind of fun. I enjoyed it. I had fun watching this match.
Yo, Cody's great in plunder matches, man. Even if they aren't phenomenal or match of the year candidate or any of a 4-star, it's just fun seeing him get his ass kicked for throughout the match, bleeding like his pops used to do, giving it that 80s old school feel, but modernizing it. Arn Anderson fell on his ass on stage. I don't know what happened there.
No, this is the second time he's done that.
Andrade came and jumped Cody. Next thing you know, I see Arn down, and I don't think Andrade's homeboy Jose was attacking him either, but yeah, he was down, and he got up for a bit, and he was all good and whatnot. But yeah, and T-Pain was there too. He was in the crowd. He was
that was for the go big show.
Go big, yeah. Go big show.
It was funny you bring up the Arn Anderson thing.
The
Arn Anderson thing though was funny because the way he fell over was just so nobody touched him. He just fell over like Humpty Dumpty off the side of the fucking stage for no reason. Get that man.
It should be looking hilarious, man.
Dog, this is the second time this happened. This is the second time he's fell over for no reason during a match. The first time he just fell early or something. I don't know. Either way, so off the jump is already shenanigans. Arn Anderson falls over. Jose and Arn Anderson start fighting on the ramp, and then the match is madness from there. Yeah. I can't even recall the spots. There was a one point he hit Andrade hit Cody with a laptop. Kind of hard way, low key too. He hit him kind of hard with that laptop. He wanted to make sure it broke in the ring. Man, there was a back body drop on the outside. There was table spots. At one point, because Cody can't help himself, go under the ring, grab the kendo stick. Nah, go under the ring again. Let me get a sledgehammer. Come on, dog. We still on this?
You end up going for the golden shovel
Then he gets
instead.
that golden shovel instead. That's meta on top of meta. Fucking wink, wink, nudge. I don't know. That was just silly, really silly nonsense. Yeah, he got to let it go, bro. Just let it go, man. Let it go. But yeah, the finish though is well. Before we even get to the finish, Cody had like it looked like his back was peeling the whole match. I'm like, yo, did he get like a bad tan or something? Like, did he get sunburnt? I'm just like,
I thought he was cooked by the pyro because you know, his interest was happening, and I was away from my screen when they happened. So by the time he was introduced, you know, and then Andrade attacked him, I was like, what, did the pyro cook this back up or something?
He didn't even get the pyro. Andrade attacked him during his entrance. So it's just I don't know. So I'm sitting there like, what is that on his back? It looked like it was like his skin was peeling off. And I'm just like, that's so strange. And then it all makes sense when, you know, the end of the match, Cody and Andrade are perched up on the top rope. And then we see Brandy Rhodes, who we have not seen since the birth of their child. She comes out, brings out the gasoline, lighter fluid on the table, lights that bad boy up, and then it's a what was like a reverse suplex or something. I don't know what the hell he did. Either way, Andrade hit that table, that flaming table, but Cody went full on back first into that flaming table.
Which I think that was pretty intentional, considering that, you know, his whole back was all lathered up.
I'm sure Cody wanted to take the brunt of the bump. However, I don't think he wanted to take all of the bump.
He took all of that. All of that flame was on his.
All of the bump. That man was literally on fire while he pinned Andrade. You know what?
And the table was still burning. The table was still burning after the fact too.
That, you know, that was a cool shot when after you pinned him, when like you had the, like you see the flaming table, and then you see Cody in the background.
Yeah.
But you know, like man, Cody, a true hero. He's giving himself to this, to wrestling, to this company, to this family, to his legacy.
He's still getting booed though.
For all of us, Cody is standing here, bare, open, vulnerable, and taking a world of pain for all of this. God damn, Cody, this hurts, but respect. That's all I got.
Still getting booed though. Still getting booed. Even in his hometown, he's still getting booed. Even though he's from Marietta, and Dynamite was in Duluth, which is like everything is 30 minutes away from the metro city. So
Marietta sound racist. Is it racist over there?
Maybe. Maybe I'm in Stone Mountain. It's probably about more the same.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that was. I mean, if you were to check out Dynamite tonight, those were probably the four main things I would say to watch. The rest of the stuff that happened tonight was just kind of stuff that happened. Miro was in purgatory. He was doing the his best rendition of the D'Angelo "How Does It Feel" video. He was in a white room in his gear talking to God. I don't know what about this time because I wasn't listening. But yeah, he was in the same room Squidward was in when he broke the time machine and he was alone, and all the alones popped in. You have anything to say about Miro?
Nah, I don't know what they're gonna do with him now. Like, all right, he lost the TNT title. He's not in the AEW title picture. I mean, what else is there for him to do? Like, I mean, he could go for Paige. He could go for Paige after Brian, but I don't know. Like, I think they're I don't know. Maybe Punk. Possibly could go for.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
I don't either. But they need something for him to do.
I don't want to see that at all. Let's see. Wardlow had a match, squashed Darren Williams. That's all I got from that.
You thought the same thing. I was like, who is this dude? Who's this Darren Williams looking nigga?
That was 2008 Darren Williams.
I was like, I was confused whether to know if he was a brother or not. I was just staring at him all the while. You know, Wardlow just powerbombed him to hell and ended the match that way.
What are they doing with Wardlow, man? I don't understand what's going on with this. They've been teasing that him and MJF are gonna break up for like 6 months, but I feel like it hasn't really advanced anywhere. And he just kind of just beating up guys and I guess racking up wins on Dark and occasionally on Dynamite. But that's kind of it for Wardlow. Let's do something with this guy, man.
He deserves better, but he hasn't done much since the inner circle feud, or in his stuff with Luchasaurus. Again, like, I mean, just the back, take it back with Miro. Like they Miro's reign could have used some big hoss battles, and Luchasaurus and Wardlow would have been fun to have to do a change of pace. It gave them something to do, but yeah, he deserves to do something else. Like, I don't know what would they have him being MJF's bodyguard for, and he's not even particularly involved with them most of the time.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, free my man, bro. Free Wardlow. I'm starting to move it. It's the free Wardlow movement. Grand Metalik got freed, so I need somebody else to yell free, and we got to free my guy, man. Last but not least, Sting and Darby Allin against the Gun Club. Boy, did I not care.
Man, this is like a dream match from like 30 years ago, but
that's a lie, because I didn't care about Billy Gunn in that. Well, I care about Billy Gunn.
No, I'm like, no, it's just actually, the moment this match was announced that it was going to happen next, I left the room and I decided to fix myself something to eat.
I will say something nice. I like Sting and Darby's face paint. Besides that, I got nothing else. Also, Billy Gunn is ridiculously big. I know he's a big dude. Every time I see this guy, I'm like, this dude is huge. Why is he so big?
That Jacksonville gas, man.
He's like, what is he, like 6'8"?
He's 6'8". What was he, 260, 270
like,
now?
bro, he's
huge.
Massive. It just really shows how big those guys were in the 90s, because he's like a regular dude any other time.
I mean, he was roided up too. He still is probably. So
still is. How old is he? He had to be like damn near what?
He's gotta be like damn near 60.
Yeah, damn near 60. He's been wrestling since what? Yeah. So like, yeah. Shout out to Billy Gunn, man.
Shout out to Billy Gunn, man.
Good for you.
I've always been a fan. I've been like somewhat of a fan of his since in UH Outlaws day. One of the best tag team workers of his generation.
I'll give him that. And shout out to Colton Gunn for getting a match with Sting. That would be, that must be so cool for like all the young guys who get to wrestle Sting. Like when 2.0 did it, I'm cool. Like, yeah, it must be like a great feeling. I got to wrestle Sting, man. Also, come on, Sting, you can't wrestle in a t-shirt. I don't want t-shirt Sting. If you're gonna wrestle, take that shirt off.
He needs to get on the Billy Gunn regimen so he can get his body back to where it was in
he wrestled
the late 90s.
But he wrestled with his shirt off before. That's the thing I don't understand. So I don't know why he had his shirt on. Maybe Thanksgiving just happened.
Yeah, man. Thanksgiving happened.
I feel you, dog.
A little too much turkey, man. But like I said, you can get himself back here. Just lift some weights with Billy. He's good to go.
Did I miss anything about AEW?
Anything else? Trying to remember. I mean, they
Adam
hyped
Cole,
up Rampage.
Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy.
I don't know what's that was such a nothing segment, man. Like, I don't know what's going on. It looks like they're moving the super clicks to the best friends now and having them feud with them, because it looks like Adam Cole was coming in to do commentary for a match. Then Orange Cassidy comes out. We don't know what's going on. And then the Young Bucks come out, they attack him, and they just beat up on him. Yeah, he gets no help from like Chuck Taylor or Wheeler Yuta, or nowhere to be found.
I mean, eventually they came out. They're probably like in catering or chilling. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm not sold on, out of all those four pillars, bro. I'm not sold on Jungle Boy. I don't know if he's that guy. Like, out of the four, he's the least impressive to me. He doesn't really do anything like impressive. At least with MJF, he's a talker and he can work. Sammy, he can work. Darby, he's popular. Like, he just has a aura about him. I'm not his biggest fan, but like, he has the aura about him. You could tell like people would gravitate towards him. But Jungle Boy, he just Luke Perry's kid. He's just kind of like
that's
it.
The reason why that's just definitely the reason why he's getting the variety as one of the four pillars of AEW. I mean, because he is pretty bland and he's small. Like, he's like, I know there's a lot of small guys on that roster for AEW's sake, but he doesn't look like a guy that's supposed to be a main event star.
He doesn't.
You know, compared to Adam Cole or Bryan Danielson.
Adam Cole kind of skinny too, though.
Yeah, but I mean, but he carries himself well.
Yeah,
for a while he used to carry himself like a star, but now he's doing this stuff with the Young Bucks, which is not really all that entertaining to me. But hopefully, whatever they're doing with him, because it looks like they're going back into the tag team title picture with him and Luchasaurus, and Christian's going to be mentoring them into the tag title. So.
Shout out to Christian for getting Marco Stunt out of here. Get him out of here.
Stunt's gone. One positive I could say about AEW picking up all these guys that have name and recognition and value, that most of the weak shit's getting out the way. So Marco Stunt's gone. Hopefully get some more guys, so we won't have to see guys like QT Marshall anymore either. So I mean that's the positive, but the shows are still just a mess.
AEW, do better, man. Shout out to Andrade for avoiding a flaming table spot. I feel you, dog. I would have the same thing. Let's get into NXT. We got a lot to talk about.
Understand, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means dues paid in full, time and again. And people would say, well, maybe that doesn't matter so much, right? It matters to me. It matters to them. And what that means is on Sunday, man, you ain't gotta like us. You don't even have to respect us. Because once the cage comes down, once the rings are in place, these 4 men step in the ring, brother, you got to understand, each and every one of you will get the respect stomped out of each and every one of your asses. That's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Yeah. 2.0, you want to know how you done messed?
All right. NXT. Hell of a go home.
Hey man, this was good. Like for like the go home show for NXT 2.0's first big pay-per-view, for War Games, and it was pretty awesome. I mean, for the most part, just the builds for everything was really good. The ladder matches were great. And there's some interesting stuff that's coming in. There's some. I see they're bringing in a lot of the show starting to get blacker, man. You saw them vignettes too.
I've been speaking on this for months now. Ever since
more niggas, man.
Ever since the Vegas tryout, I said, look, the show's getting a lot more blacker. WWE getting a lot more blacker, and I love to see it. But let's get into it real quick. Let's start. The show started off with a bang. I missed like the first 2 minutes. I turned the TV on. The girls is fighting. I don't know how it started. I turned the TV on. The girls was fighting.
That's actually how it started. So the build up for the big War Game matches that are happening. There's going to be like the advantage match, the advantage ladder match between 2 members of the opposing teams, and the winner will get the man advantage heading into the match. So the first one was Kaylee Ray against Dakota Kai. I'm pretty sure I'm sure they had a lot of history in NXT UK as well, right? Was Dakota was in NXT UK, right?
I think at some point, she was at the
UK. So I think she was there for a cup of coffee or
yeah.
And but this match was very good. It was crazy too.
It was brutal. It was like, man, they really going hard.
They were going nuts. Like Dakota's been on one since she returned, and they were doing some wild spots. And then there was a portion there that when they went into picture in picture, they had a submission spot, and I was like, what the fuck? Why are they doing submissions right here in the ladder match? And then I remember, she was working on Dakota's working on Kaylee Ray's leg, just to work on her leg to keep her from climbing up the ladder. Well, it actually did play into the match, but I always find those type of spots funny as shit. Like, why the fuck are you doing submissions anyway in this ladder match? Just beat the fuck out the person and climb up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't see the picture in picture because the Xfinity app or whatever didn't have it. But so I don't know what happened during the commercials all show. But yeah, man, I was never really a fan of the ladder match before War Games stipulation they've been doing for the past couple of years. Just because it seems kind of dangerous. Like anything can really happen in a ladder match. Thankfully, nothing bad. It was like 2 years ago, and me and Yim almost broke her damn neck with that spot.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you're gonna get hurt before the big match.
Yeah,
like,
it seems kind of strange for him to do that, but it's man, the match was, I like that. It was aggressive from the jump. You knew what the mood was from the jump, from the beginning brawl of all the girls fighting into the match. There was no cutesy lockups, none of that shit. We getting right to the violence. And that's what I like. Yo,
it was negative all the way.
Negative
all the way.
You know what I noticed about this episode of NXT too? I don't know if you like looked into the crowd. There were kids in the crowd. I don't remember ever seeing kids in the NXT crowd in a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen kids in the crowd. Like little kids.
They found a way to replace those jackasses, I suppose. That were just pretty much sabotaging the show and making all the shit at MSK. So bringing in more kids.
Yeah,
and, they had a good time.
I'd much rather see kids enjoying themselves than
yeah.
I know it doesn't fit into the 1849 demo, but it's all right. Yeah, the match was fantastic. Like you said, Dakota's been on one since she's been back. I think it's a new hair, but later on in the show, Team 2.0 comes out. Well, first we find out that Johnny Gargano was voted for the ladder match advantage match. Did you vote?
No, I didn't even know there was a poll.
I did vote. I saw on Twitter today, like, oh, vote for who's in the ladder. I was like, okay, that's a cool little thing. So yeah, I voted for Tony D'Angelo just because I wanted to see him in the ladder match. I would love to see Tony D'Angelo in the ladder match.
Man, man, try to protect him as much as you can right now. I don't know if he is ready for to take any ladder spots of that nature right now.
I didn't know Braun was able to, but
Braun was impressive. We'll also get into that a little later down ahead. But before that, Cameron Grimes was on. Oh no, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get that in quick hits. We're gonna get that. We'll get there. Over.
I just want to talk the big stuff first. So Team
knock the big out. So, yeah.
So Team 2.0 comes out. The whole squad. Was it not Samantha Irvin? I feel so bad forgetting this lady's name.
It wasn't Samantha.
What's Shorty's name? I forgot her name, but she's like, look, what y'all think? And I think everybody got their shit in. I think they all sounded very confident on the mic, and I love that. That was that was something I was a little concerned about initially with these guys, but man, they feel like naturals. I think that's something that is a positive with the PC, and that you can really work on your promo. They have that the video recording room where you can watch yourself back. You have some of the greatest talkers ever backstage there to help you. I think that's something that I wish AEW had something like that, where some of those guys can really work on their promo format. Even if NXT or WWE in general is more scripted, it's still like there's an art to it. And I feel like a lot of the young guys over in Jacksonville could really benefit from that. But it showed the guys look like legit contenders. They didn't look like a bunch of chumps out there compared to the old guard,
the OGs.
The OGs.
Grayson Waller called them Team Hot Dogs and Handshakes.
I think that is hilarious. That's so funny.
But like you saying, every single one of those guys, like, they were really confident on the mic. Very impressive. It was like I really enjoyed just hearing every single one of those guys talk. And they were able to show flashes of their personality. Even Trick was able to get some quick hitters in. He's not technically involved in the match. I wonder if he is going to be involved in the match.
He'll definitely get involved in the match somehow. Yeah. He gonna sneak into the cage and get probably like double super kick by DIY or some shit like that.
Probably take some crazy bump.
Yeah, he can do something. But and then of course Johnny Gargano comes out. He cooked them boys. What did he call Brian Breaker? Big
bad booty nephew.
That's late. That's great. I would have broke character if he called me that. He was like, look, you keep your boys in the back. I'm gonna keep my boys in the back, Brian. We're gonna do this one-on-one. And that's what we got. Next up on big things that kind of happened. They got Odell Phantasma against Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner.
The guys.
What you think of this match?
I thought it was a fine match. It was decent. It was your sister standard TV tag match. I mean, really the whole key focus on the side, Cy and Quinn came out and looking for revenge, and looked like he also wanted a piece of Electra as well. But he ended up brawling out with Santos, getting him out the way, and it just turned into your regular tag match. When Kyle got into the match, it picked up a little bit. It looked good. Vaughn didn't do much. And hopefully, we get to see more of him, in the match against Imperium. But they end up getting the win with like a high-low lariat leg sweep, finisher, which was nice. It looked pretty cool.
Very similar to the Red Dragon finisher. That what is it?
Yeah,
spin kick.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of that, But I'm a sucker for high-low finishes anyway. So
I love me a good high-low. How do you feel about Von Wagner?
I don't know. I really don't know about this guy. I mean, of course, he has a look.
It seems like everyone backstage is very high on this guy, it's not translating on TV. I wonder what they're seeing that we're not seeing. You know what I mean? Because I'm sorry, I don't get it. Like, I don't see the appeal in this guy. He looks kind of bland. His gear is bland. I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy. He probably works hard, but it's just like it's not translating. I don't know what they need to do, but they need to figure something out because I don't think the fans really care too much about him. And unfortunately, it kind of feels like it kind of dragged Kyle down a little bit. I mean, if Kyle's on his way out, which, I mean, side note, I think he's on his way out. But if Kyle is on his way out, I guess it's fine to put them together, try to get him over, but it doesn't seem like it's working. I don't think that little campfire hiking trail promo did much for anybody. We're gonna see on Sunday if he shows up, if he really shows out.
I don't really know either, man. Not even his dumbass insult is hitting the way it should. It's just not working for me, man. But again, like we really just saw a little bit of him, and from what we saw, it's decent, but it's not blowing me away. And but with this match with Imperium, he gets us a chance, to really showcase himself in a big match setting, against two guys that know how to work. And
sure.
Bartel and Wagner. And I also want to say like Marcel Bartel is a really good promo. Like, I enjoy him a lot, man. So he is really good. And and I don't know what Cyrus don't see in those two, but they've really got it going, especially with Marcel. Like, he could be a really solid single star.
I will say they do kind of have a generic look to them.
Yeah,
they just look like some
I think that's
guys.
the European thing, man.
Yeah,
I think it's just a standard, like, to get the European technical aspect of them, man. Like it goes harking back to like their indie days.
I also want to give a shout out to Legado del Fantasma. I've been riding with Raul Mendoza since his jobber days. I've been rocking with him. Jacqueline Wild is also a fan. Those guys I think they're a very underrated tag team in NXT. I don't think they get talked about enough.
I'm glad that that Wild actually evolved his character as well throughout his career. Going from that weird electronic DJ to now being like a suave dude, man.
I like the air horn thing though. I wish it would.
Hey, the air horn.
The air horn was hard.
Air horn was hard to Impact. I don't know.
The air horn was hard. He did because he had like the actual air horn in Impact. I wish they would have brought that over to NXT, like the actual airport. That would have been hard. You tell me if you hit a fire ass move and then points at the DJ. Hit the air. That's not hard, man. Look,
that's damn near future endeavor. That's what it would be, man.
Well, I'm happy he's not.
I'm happy he is here, man.
Let's talk main event. Johnny Gargano versus Bron Breakker. Look, I knew from the judge, I said if anybody gonna get a banger out of Bron Breakker, it's gonna be Johnny Gargano, and he did it. He did it again. The guy. If this ends up being Gargano's last match on NXT. Which I gotta assume it is. Like, if he's not going to main roster, or if he's not going to AEW, what are we doing? You know what I mean? But if this is if this was his last match on NXT TV, man, what a way to go out! Put the young guy over. It was a great match. A lot of great spots. I was surprised how many ladder spots Braun took. Excuse me. that what did he do, like an elbow drop off the ladder, off the top rope into the ladder.
That was fucking crazy, bro.
I wasn't expecting him to do that.
I saw the way he bounced off that ladder.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
He was taking some. They were taking some nasty spills throughout
Yeah.
that match, both Gargano and Breaker. But yeah, he looked great. Like he looked really good. You know, yeah, Gargano, man. What can I say, man? He is a wonderful performer in the ring. And you know, if this is like this final days with NXT and at whole and by large with WWE, man, he's going out with a bang. And you know, I wish, you know, hopefully, you know, he gets to stick around and really get to see the fruits of his labor, you know, on the main roster.
We need him on SmackDown. I need him versus Sammy.
We need little Big Match John.
Yeah, we need
on the SmackDown roster.
Yeah, but Braun looked great. He ends up winning the match, and at the end of the big old brawl, I love it. I love a show ending in a big old brawl.
Very, very, very standard. Very, very down to the point.
That's all I need, man.
Solid
match.
Great go home show.
I can't talk about how much fun. Like I said this a couple weeks ago. This is the only like weekly show I have like a lot of fun watching. Like I can have a smile on my face watching it the whole time because it's just fun.
It's funny. It's great. It's solid. It's
fresh.
Good. Yeah, it's fresh. You know, I enjoy it, man.
It doesn't take itself too serious. You know what I mean? It's just a really good time, and it zooms by. That 2 hours really zooms by. They be having like 10 matches a show. It don't even matter because it's just like back to back to back. Just fun stuff.
Yeah.
Fun characters. That's what wrestling's about, man. Yeah, I mean, you can have all the you know holds and corkscrew moonsaults and all that, but like in the end, wrestling's fun. And I think people got to go back to the essence of that, just like having fun watching the show. We worry about the wrong stuff sometimes. We really be too worried about, you know, attendance sales and demo talk. It's just like, yo, just enjoy the show, man. This is fun wrestling. Like what it should be. But let's get some quick hits real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Grimes versus Andre Chase. We see last week they got into a little altercation. And then I guess there was an online exclusive. Andre Chase calling out Cameron Grimes, and they have a match. The match is whatever. It's Cameron Grimes. He wins, obviously. After the match, Duke Hudson cussed his weird promo. It reminded me of remember back in the day, it was Edge and Kurt Angle where he did a little Titantron, Photoshop job.
Yeah, had them shitty hairstyles, man. He had a bowl cut in a JoJo Siwa's look. For Grimes. It was just looking all dumb, man.
This didn't hit for me. I wasn't feeling this promo. I don't think the crowd was really feeling this promo either. It seemed kind of, I don't know. It was, yeah, this wasn't it for me. It didn't hit like, especially after the poker promo they had 2 weeks ago, and how fantastic that was. This one, nah. What do you think?
No, but Grimes, you know, Grimes tried to, you know, he tried to make it recover as well by responding to almost cutting Andre Chase's hair. Before one of his students saved him. I guess he's probably going to be making his in-ring debut soon. Like the long blonde hair one.
Yeah,
I forgot what his name was.
Is? I don't know who that guy
I forgot who he was. I forgot who his name was, but I think Cyrus will bring it back to sometime, you know, in the future. But yeah, it was okay, you know, closer to the build up to their hair for hair match. But hopefully, you know, I mean, I would like for Grimes to take that, but you know, I won't be surprised if he gets his hair cut.
We'll get into it in the predictions later. Yeah. I'm just gonna talk about the promo videos for debuting superstars. Goes out the way. First one we saw for the night, I believe, was Idris Inoue. I had never heard of this man. Has a military background. He's built like a damn Marvel superhero. He had the match against Solo Sikoa, who got into a weird altercation with Boa backstage. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, he was walking up to him with some bubble guts. So I don't know what was going on with that.
I don't know what that was about. But yeah, we get a little get a decent match. I mean, I don't know how much experience Idris has, but he looked all right out there. And Solo
decent.
Solo, he's Solo. I don't know if I'm 100% sold on this dude yet. But it's just so funny that like his gimmick is like he's clearly Jimmy and Jane's brother, but his gimmick is like, oh, I had no parents, I had nothing, I was on the streets. But like, we know who your dad is, bro. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, they had a match, and then like immediately after the match is over, after Solo wins with the that big splash, Boa comes out of nowhere, just kills him with like a Tongan death grip, and yeah, I guess that's a feud going forward. I don't know, maybe that'll be on the pre-show of the pay-per-view. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. He came out with the face paint too, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like he has some sort of like split personality or whatever. What was left over of that stable just went over to him.
Yeah, Teen Shah, that's very very unfortunate. That shit went down.
R.I.P.
That shit went downhill as soon as homegirl when he on Mia Yim, not Mia Yim, Xia Li took out Mercedes Martinez, or no, when Raquel took her out, knocked her out with that whatever that splash was. It was kind of it was never the same after that.
Never the same.
Okay. Next promo video we get. Tiffany, what's her name? What's her last name? Do you know it offhand?
Not off my hand. Not right now.
That's fine. So she had her debut video last week when we didn't record. Tiffany Stratton. I don't know much about. I know she got signed. I believe she got signed on the same class as Solo Sikoa did. I believe she was a bodybuilder. Her nickname is the Buff Barbie, but it seems like she's kind of going for like a Claire from Clueless type of character, or even like closer to wrestling, like kind of like what Sasha Banks was when she first debuted. I see a lot of similarities. I see a lot of similarities in that. Maybe not kind of like that.
Nah, you know, or just like your typical, like, you know, your Beverly Hills,
yeah,
you know,
like a Valley Girl type deal.
Valley Girl, you know, rich Valley Girl, you know, that be spinning up on everything and pretty much is an airhead in every single way.
And she always talking about her dad and whatnot. I'm interested to see. I think she had a couple matches on 205 Live. I have not seen her work. I'm interested to see what they do with her. We'll see what happens with that one. And then the last one promo video that we saw, Big Draco
Anthony.
Now I did watch his match on 205 Live against, I believe he wrestled Roderick Strong. He looked good out there. He looked good. Another bigger guy, muscular guy. We'll see what happens with Draco. I think he has potential to be pretty good, pretty standout guy.
He was standing, just sitting down in the diner.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. My actions speak louder than words, but like you ain't doing nothing. You just sitting at a diner. So like, what you know what I mean?
What's going on?
what you really doing? Yeah. So I love that they're really still debuting guys and girls on the show. We're still getting some more fresh faces. I like this show. Really reminds me of like when NXT first joined Full Sail so much. Remember, like when NXT, like remember we'll get the Pac vignette. Oh, Pac's coming soon. Oh, we're gonna get the Sami Zayn vignette. Oh, Sami Zayn's coming soon. Oh, we're getting the Bray Wyatt vignette. Oh, Bray Wyatt.
No way, Jose.
Yeah, you're like no way, Jose. It's that feeling like, oh, this is like it really brings me back to that essence of what NXT used to be, and I love that. Let's keep that going. Keep getting more fresh faces in, because obviously these NXT 1.0 guys are eventually gonna have to move on. Either they're gonna have to leave or get called up. They can't stay forever. I mean, I know even like Pete Dunne, I know he's like 24 or 25, but like he's been there already. What? Like damn near 6 years.
He's been ready though.
Yeah, he's been ready to go. Gargano, Ciampa, they've been ready to go. Let's get it moving. I'm looking towards the future, man. Next up, Joe Gacy Invitational. How do you feel about this Joe Gacy character, man? How do you feel about Joe Gacy, man?
I love the character. Like the character is ridiculous, man. Just this false savior, of being inclusive and using all these buzzwords of the last 2 years that pretty much took over social media, and now the invitational thing really it blue balled us because you see three people in the ring with them. You see this small guy, a woman, and is this big Honda looking dude
Big man.
right there on the apron. And I'm like, so what's going on here? Are they trying to join his ranks or whatever? And you find out it's a match,
It's
a gauntlet.
all inclusive.
I was like, oh, okay. And then Gacy, he beats the shit out the first guy, and then he gets to the woman next. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? And they got the commentary was all confused. And wait, and Beth was like, what's going on? Is he really going to go? And the bell rings, and they get ready to lock up. And then Diamond Mine comes out. I'm like, damn.
I didn't think they were going to go that far.
I thought it was going to happen, dog.
I didn't think they were going to go that far. Yeah, man. I think like another thing we missed last week is the whole inclusivity of the Cruiserweight Championship. I think that's hilarious. I think that's so funny. I don't know who thought of that, but whoever thought of that backstage, that was genius.
It was pretty brilliant.
Joe Gacy, he's so interesting to me because like I feel like I know where they're going with the character, and then they'll do something else. I'm like, okay, that's not what I expected them to do with this character. I just don't know where they're going with this. I'm here for the ride. I think it's really funny. I don't know. I don't know if some people really get the character. Like I feel like I see some like comments online. I'm like, I don't think people are really getting this. It's not like people think like this is like Vince taking shots at like liberals or something like that. But it's like that's not really what it is. It's more so like that fake woke liberalism that you see people. It's not sincere. It's obvious that's what it is. I still think it gets a little darker, and I don't know what the relationship with Harlan is. That's still kind of weird. I wonder when he's actually going to get in the ring because there's a lot of hype about this kid when he first signed. They were calling him Baby Brock. So I want to see something. He got a lot of potential to fill up to. You know what I mean?
They gotta explain that relationship a little more. I'm with you also with him debuting soon and starting to get in the ring and just showcasing what he could do because I mean, I'm only going to just see him on the side for so long, before I'm like, hey, all right, so what's going on here, but Gacy himself, he's a funny ass character, man. He could work, he could talk, he's good, and part of me kind of wants this to last longer with this issue with him and Diamond Mine, but I'm sure this is probably going to be one and done.
Yeah, probably. Were you familiar with Joe Gacy's work previous to NXT? I didn't know much about him. I saw a name every once in a while, but I never seen him work.
Same. I knew I knew the name, but I haven't saw him a lot, because he was mainly in CCW, and I think he did some early GCW shows before signing over to WWE, but I was not really, I wasn't really following the CCW product that often.
So was he a deathmatch guy?
He was a mixture,
okay.
like some of the guys, because he mainly was wrestling in their light heavyweight division,
Gotcha.
and he also was their CCW heavyweight champion at one point too. Okay. And he had a feud with I think he feuded with Leo Rush, and
was he the one who
had some matches
with was that the match? Well. Was that the ladder match? Who did Leo Rush wrestle in that ladder match where he sold that table spot off the ladder?
I want to say it was a Gacy match.
Was that Joe Gacy?
Sure.
That's one of my favorites.
It was the Gacy one. I want to say it was, but I'm not too sure because that's when he had that death face paint and shit.
Yeah,
too, right?
Yeah, like right before
what
he
the hell was.
I don't know, but let me tell you something. I love when wrestlers no sell table spot. When Sting did it a couple months ago, I loved that. I jumped out of my chair. I said, "That's what I'm talking about. No sell the table spot. That's some real fighting spirit." Yeah, man, I love that. Excuse me. Last but not least, Persia Parada, Indy Hartwell versus Valentina Feroz and Yusila Leon. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong. Before the match starts, Indy Hartwell gets a call from the hospital, I guess, and she puts on speakerphone for everyone to hear. I don't know, but yeah, I guess Dexter Lumis just dipped out the hospital. No one knows where he's at. So Indy's very concerned, and Persia thinks, "Oh no, I'm about to do another handicap match," which she seemed eager to do. So I mean, I don't know why she seemed like she was stressed about it because she was eager to do it the last 3 weeks. But Indy actually did the match this time, and really quick match. Persia looked good. That's really all that really happened. Nothing really advanced from there.
You see these two break it up anytime soon with Persia becoming annoyed with Indy's despondency and her relationship with Dexter.
Yeah, so that's that on that. Did I miss anything else on the show? The MSK Shaman saga is still going on. I imagine we're gonna find out who it is on Sunday.
Yeah, I hope so. You think
so.
it's RVD?
I want to say it's either be RVD or Jeff Hardy, because they were kind of hinting at Jeff Hardy 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Last week? Yeah, they said something about like tag team excellence or something. They said something.
Oh,
are they from North Carolina? Where are they from?
I know. I think they're from Ohio.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
they're from Ohio.
NASCAR definitely from Ohio. Okay.
Yeah. Because Ben Coyle, man, shout out to Ben Coyle. He was really
boys.
big on MSK. Those are his guys. So
yeah, okay.
So but yeah, either RVD or I would say it's Rob Van Dam, because Hardy's kind of busy.
Is he
on SmackDown? I feel like so I think it's.
I'm
RVD.
cool. I'm cool with RVD messing with MSK. That's cool with me. It's a cool little group. That's all I got for NXT. Let's get into some predictions. Let me go look up the card real quick. NXT War Games. Also, please check out NXT War Games on Peacock Sunday. Yes. I believe at 7. I don't know what time is that. 7 or 8 your time. So let's see. I'm gonna go right off Wikipedia. We don't know the match order, obviously. First matchup, the women's War Games match. The team of Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Cora Jade, and Kaylee Ray versus Dakota Kai and Toxic Attraction of a group consisting of Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. Who you got, sir?
I'm going to go with the Toxic Attraction here.
Dakota.
Yeah, I got Toxic Attraction Dakota. I got them winning the War Games here. Because I feel like between the two matches, there's got to be one of the heel teams to win, and I choose the women's heel team to take that one. And plus, we really don't know what's going to go on with Io Shirai and some of the other. I mean, she should have been gone, man.
It probably should be Io's goodbye. In my opinion, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So I fully expect her doing another wild spot or something. Is it going to be like the open cage, like the last War Game?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to keep the open cage. I think AEW kind of got the closed cage thing down now at this point. I guess that's like their shit. This will probably be NXT shit, just the open cage. I prefer the open cage, honestly. At least opening for more spots that you couldn't do with the closed cage. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at that. I'm going to agree with you on the heel team. I think Dakota and Toxic Attraction, I think they got the most momentum. And I think, honestly, Raquel and Io, they can take the L's. Cora Jade, she's fine. She's young. She can take the L. And Kaylee Ray, they're going to push her regardless. Actually, Kaylee Ray low-key might turn. So that could also happen.
Yeah, I don't see her being a face for long.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they turn her or, turn her against Cora Jade, so they could just start something immediately.
Start it up, or even Raquel. I'm cool with either of them. But Io Shirai, look, I love you, baby, but it's time to move on. Next up, Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson, hair versus hair. I'm gonna go with Duke Hudson on this one. I think I was listening to Justin and Meals earlier today on the A Show, and I'm in agreement with them. I think they're really priming Cameron Grimes to the main roster sooner than later, and I think they want to change his look a little bit, and I'm all for it. I think this is the best route to go with it. Just cut that hair off, man. Let's get you ready for the main roster. I honestly, and the other thing is like Duke Hudson has short hair anyway, so it's not like even if he cuts his hair off, it wouldn't make that much of a difference of his look. If they had him like completely bald, so I don't see really much gain in him, cutting his hair off. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Duke Hudson winning on this one.
Yeah, same here. Like with Duke, like his hair is already short, and he looks like the cousin of Wade Barrett, even though one's English, the other one's Australian, I believe. Yeah,
he's Australian.
But he needs to win because he is a new star there on the brand, and it would give him a good look to elevate himself, in this feud with Grimes. And again, Grimes is definitely primed for the main roster. The haircut was already a good look and a
He
good
looks a lot.
semblance
He
of what
looks a
could
lot
be.
better with that haircut.
He
already.
looks cleaner.
Yeah, he looks a lot cleaner.
He looks like like one of like those the Raven Flock members after when they all disbanded, they immediately took showers and cleaned up and
Like
had shorter haircuts.
Yeah, Billy Kidman.
Yeah, Billy Kidman and Scotty Riggs. Yeah, like they definitely like.
I saw a couple ladies on the timeline talking about, oh yeah, you know what, Cameron Grimes kind of cute now with the short hair. I was like, okay, go ahead, Cameron.
There it is.
You know
there it is.
They saw the vision.
He could go and get his haircut, get shaven for a little bit, and then it's going to grow back out anyway.
Yeah, he had that long hair for a long time too.
Yeah, so he's probably going to get like a short hair look, short haircut look. By the time he hits the main roster, and a whole different character, and we'll see where it goes from there, because he's been just trying to elevate himself since day one.
Yeah,
being there on NXT.
Cameron Grimes is special. You know what's special about Cameron Grimes? Cameron Grimes is so good of a character that you forget he could also wrestle really good too. Like it slips like, oh yeah, this guy can go too. I forgot the dude can go. It happens every time I see him. I was like, oh yes, dude, this dude is nice. So
he confused. He even confused a lot of the guys there. That on the chat, man. Like we were like some guys just didn't see from when he first came in. But when he started developing his character more and be able to get more ring time, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's a total package," and I see him as that. And hopefully, he could go and get some shine, on SmackDown, because really SmackDown needs a lot of bodies. But we'll leave that for Justin and Mills to talk about.
Wow, they be talking about NXT and AEW all the time. On show. I can do the same thing. Whatever. You're like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it anyway. Next up. Roderick Strong versus Joe Gacy for the all-inclusive championship. Who you got here?
One, this match is going to bang. Like, I feel like this is going to be a great match here. And two, I have Roderick Strong retaining the title. I mean, I just can't see like the cruiserweight title even right now being something that is already destroyed. I mean, they already destroyed the show. 205 Live is now NXT Stark. so for them to like change just to be done with the cruiserweight division in general, with having Gacy win and making it something all inclusive, while it sounds cool in theory, it's just another blemish, a division that's been in and out, taken seriously, and done away with and hampered again with WWE. So but I have Strong retaining and hopefully getting back in the program Kushida, because I don't think Kushida is yet to get his rematch. But
Kushida got other things on his mind, right? He on that jacket.
Yeah, he got that jacket time. It's Style Strong with him and Jiro. So so I don't know. But I won't be upset with either result though. I will say that. But it's just
I would love to see Joe Gacy just take the cruiserweight title and turn it into a whole other belt. I think that'd be fun. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that would be really fun. So yeah, we'll see about that. I'm also gonna pick Roderick Strong on this one though, but I wouldn't be mad at Joe Gacy at all. Men's War Game match. I'm assuming this will probably end the show anyway. Team NXT Black and Yellow. We got Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight against the New Breed 2.0 of Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, and Tony D'Angelo. Who you got?
I got the OGs winning here, man.
I do too.
Tony being the fall guy too.
People are going to be upset about that, but I agree. I think the OGs are going to win this match.
But it's again, this is also another match where it could be Gargano's swan song, because he did extend his contract just to go through War Games, and it's possible that he could take the fall too. But I don't like it could go either way, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'll rather take the OGs winning, because the guys on the other side, they can take a loss.
They can take the L. There's no need for them to rush into this, overtaking the older guard. I'm with you on that. I mean, I don't really care who wins in the end. I think this match is gonna go crazy. It can be a lot of wild spots. I think these four young dudes got a lot to prove. Well, I guess 5 if you include Trick Williams. They got a lot to prove on that match. So
I got Grayson Waller being like an MVP in this match.
I think crazy. You know what? I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I didn't like Grayson Waller at first. He's starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
I think when they switched his gimmick up from whatever the hell he was doing before, his gimmick was just being annoying to now he's like, yo, I'm the new breed of wrestling, like all that old shit. I'm not rocking with that. That's what I like. I like that. Keep that going.
You should stick with that gimmick going forward, man.
Keep that gimmick going before. I don't care about whatever he was doing before that because it did nothing for me. This
but
version,
he could go. He could definitely go though. Work. He might have to change his ring attire because I'm not really digging the damn shorts and boxing gloves.
Yeah, I don't.
He could probably wrestling, just change, he could probably keep the shorts, but I don't like the gloves with the pair. It's just a dumbass look.
You know what I like about Grayson Waller? He got that fake that fake ass DJ Mustard beat.
That DJ Mustard beat.
For the music. That shit hard.
It's better than interesting song. My God, man.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. I saw you tweet that. Like
they did my man wrong, man. They did him wrong, dog. Like they need to change that theme up pronto because he has everything but the music. That's
fine. The music's whatever.
Well, he'll be all right though.
Tony D'Angelo. I'm interested. The best thing about War Games though is that it's gonna cover a lot of stuff that it's gonna cover over a lot of the things they're not so great at so far. For example, Tony D'Angelo, he clearly has a limited move set. The character's there. It's just he just needs more time in the ring. But in a War Games match, you really don't need to do much except sell for most of the match and take a spot and then kind of just go to the side and then come in for your spot
too.
Yeah, you can use weapons, so you can really you don't have to do a lot of moves. It's all about just the story and just remembering when your spots are. So I think everybody should get out of the safe, and it should be a good match. I think it should be a good match. They're wrestling with 4 veterans. I mean, shit, probably like 50 years worth of experience on the OG team.
We were it said it was Johnny Gargano's first War Games match.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't he? No, he might be right. I think it is his first War Games match.
I believe. Yeah, that's what it said on the comments. It was his first War Games. So I was like, what? Like I have to look.
Who did Adam Cole, or was it Tommaso Ciampa? Who did he do that little that move to the table? Was that Adam Cole?
I believe it was Cole. Yeah,
because Undisputed Era has been in every single one of the men's.
Yeah, Undisputed Era has been every single one, but I don't think when Cole was feuding with Gargano, it didn't line up.
Yeah. Okay. Games. Wow. Interesting. Okay.
But we get DIY reunited at War Games, so we can probably go and see some old spots.
That's what I was saying. I think Trick Williams getting a double super kick for sure. Yes. So yeah, it should be a fun pay-per-view. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, that's it. Everybody, please check out the War Games pay-per-view. I don't think it's called Takeover War Game. I think it's a regular old War Game, which is cool.
It's just War Games, man.
Yep. Sunday
takeover stuff the old. This is a new
era. Sunday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Check in NXT War Games, and that's it for the War Report in War Games. For us, I want to say a special thank you to Carmelo Hayes. I want to say a special thank you to Chris Mack for coming on the show. You can follow him on Twitter at rappers actors. You can follow me on the Comeback Spot. You can follow Cyrus on, I don't remember what the hell is his damn new Twitter. I don't even remember what it is. Cyrus on TWR. Sorry, Cyrus. Yeah, thank you guys again. Apologize for not having a show last week, but hopefully this show made up for it. And you guys have a great weekend and enjoy War Games.